Warm it up. Head out past the canyons, stay off of the highways. You may never find your way back home. The only way to get there is the path made by a stranger. You forget about your neighbors on the road. The animals will see you from their home in the forest. It ain't far to the treasures that they know. And a little bird will sing a song that's been forgotten by people in their rotten pleasure dome. And the wind will take him with it where it goes. Don't forget to leave the light on, you may lose your way. The night gets awfully quiet when you roam. In the morning you'll awake, make sure to take a quiet moment. Atonement can't forgive us on its own. And the chains will always rattle if you don't fully cut them, but they will never fall off on their own. And the kings are in the distance, they're all longing for a mistress. They down at our resistance from their throne. And the wind will take them with it where it goes. The wind will take them with it where it goes. Everyone's a witness, no one turns back the clock, even the blood of the doctor ain't made of stone. We dive into the waters like our mothers and our fathers, hoping for freedom we may never know. And the air of the cities carries water from the rivers, and the kids are always full of love and hope. And the summer light turns over like the dandelions of clover, turning to the ground beneath the snow. And the wind will take them with it where it goes. The wind will take them with it where it goes. The wind will take them with it where it goes.
Thanks, Paul. Paul Lee Kupfer, everybody. I'm really excited to have him as part of this event. If you're a poet, what you got to do is be friends with musicians. It's going to help a lot. So did everybody who wanted one get a scurvy special? It'll make more sense as the night progresses. We'll talk about scurvy specials, but it goes back to the Saganista days back in Saginaw, Michigan, in the early mid-90s or something like that. But tonight's going to be a little different than a standard book reading, and part of that means it's going to be a little more laid back. And so, absolutely feel free during the performance to help yourself to another beverage whenever you feel inclined. I also want to thank, other than Paul, I want to thank Ed Enders, who's here. Where'd he go? He's right there. He provided the artwork for this book, for the cover, as well as interior illustrations. And it adds so much to the book. It just really, was a gift to have him willing to jump on board and be part of this project. We do have a few of his art pieces back there, and if you would like to take any of them home tonight, talk to Ed, and it would be a beautiful thing for you to add any of those to your private collection. So they're here. Make sure you have a chance to look at them. On that same table where the paintings are back there, Paul has CDs, records, stickers, T-shirts. That's all. And I've got some CDs. And then, of course, Andrea's got the books at the front counter there. But I just want to, I also want to thank Lisa Snow, who's back there, who loves it when, point her out on the spot. But really, she was so much a part of not just there for the writing of the original book, but the 100 Highways tour that you'll hear more about tonight. She was with me for most of that, and thank you. I also want to thank Bill Hand, he's in Brockport, New York, but he wrote a wonderful preface for the book. He's a fantastic poet that you should look up, because he's one of the last of a generation of really powerful poets. So. The book itself is a series of episodes that I call movements, as in movements of a piece of music. And the one we're going to start with tonight is it's actually the second movement, Trail Ridge and West Elk Loop. And it was kind of that first big road trip that set me off on a life of traveling, of hitchhiking, road trips, what I call free travel, where you might not have a destination or a plan, and most likely very little money. But you're just out there, and you're allowing the road to decide where you're going and what is happening. And it's been my favorite way to travel. It's been a huge part of my life. It's what the book is. And so we're going to start with that, this the beginning of it all, in a way. So. Nearly 2 decades of being on the road has to start somewhere. Long before those days at the cabin with Moonstar. Long before I learned advanced thumb techniques and how to score anything needed. Free food, free beds, free beer, free love, freedom. Before I knew this was a vocation rather than a pastime. A way of life in both the mundane and Taoist senses of the phrase, rather than a diversion. Before I read Kerouac or London, before I heard Hank Williams sing.
I love you, babe. You got to understand. When the Lord made me, He made a rambling man.
Before all of that, I simply cashed in the change I had moldering away in several old wine jugs and bought a ticket on a westbound bus.
I could settle down and be doing just fine until I heard that freight rolling down me straight home and back. And if I didn't go, I believe I'd blow my stack.
New Army surplus canvas packed, stashed below decks, and a new journal ready to catch the coming music. We slink past the burned out houses and boarded up liquor stores of East Side Saginaw. Packs of feral dogs and hookers in thrift store heels, the only ones on the street at this hour. Vacant lots of broken glass and the rusted skeletons of industry. But the weeds splintering the sidewalks promise renewal. Someday the gray will give way to the green. The earth will reclaim what is hers, and the people will throw away their TVs and Oldsmobiles and walk barefoot through the grasses. A wisp of wildflower struggling through the concrete stops the next footstep.
Some folks might say that I'm no good. I wouldn't settle down even if I could. But when that open road starts to call, there's somewhere over the hill that I long to be.
The bus leaves town and closes the door behind it, wheezing and coughing its diesel breath into the iron morning air. Sidewalks give way to irrigation ditches, fields and woodlots broken intermittently by sway-backed barns and stoic farmhouses. Rail yards and rummage sales, cars on block and sheets on clotheslines, hawk on a utility pole, old woman checking her empty mailbox, boots on fence posts, bloated deer carcass gathering crows, boy fishing from a one-lane bridge, cloud of gulls following a tractor across a field of worm-rich mud. Finally, into the canyons of downtown Chicago, home of Carl Sandburg, who wrote, "You have loved 40 women, but you have only one thumb." I eventually find what I'm looking for. A door booby-trapped with brass bells, red naugahyde stools lining a time-blackened bar, crazy on the juke, and a spattering of regulars contemplating want ads and bowls of peanuts. I find a spot at the bar and order a scurvy special, a cheap draft with slices of lemon and lime. The vitamin C in the fruit protects me from that disease common to all wind-blown wanderers. Pirates, vagabond Taoists, anarcho-hobos, concrete nomads, thumb pilots, asphalt mariners, rail riders, drifters, rogues, gypsies, Vianauts, and Uncle Jack's Dharma bums. The first one goes down quickly, washing the bus ride from my teeth. The jukebox falls silent. I go over and drop my quarter in. In honor of the city I'm in, I punch up some muddy waters, who says, "Don't the highway look lonesome after the sun done gone down?" And then more Patsy, this time walking after midnight. There are 3 requirements for a perfect bar: a pool table, no televisions, and Patsy Cline on the jukebox. No pool table here, but other than that, this place has what it takes to get the pen moving.
I go walking after midnight like we used to do. I'm always walking after midnight, searching for you.
A crumpled dollar bill like a distant dripping faucet. My moon is not your moon, and it's time to rename all the constellations. I have wasted the night in someone else's dreams, and it seems I got exactly what I had coming. I remember the ocean, swallowing the starlight, drawing lines on our faces, then folding like a map of all our sorrows. Noah was often seasick and wanted nothing more than to take a drive in the country, pale blue Chevy on a dirt road, bugs splattering the windshield 2 at a time. At least that's what he told me as I poured him another bourbon and Patsy Cline poured from the jukebox like scotch. But we can never be sure of any of our memories when the sea is involved.
Stop to see a weeping willow crying on his pillow. Maybe he's crying for me. And as the sky turns gloomy, the night winds whisper to me, I'm as lonesome as I can be. That's why I'm walking after midnight in the starlight, just hoping you might be somewhere out walking after midnight, searching for me. After midnight, searching for me.
Pete, how's it sound?
Sound guy.
We knew I'd put you to work with something small, so Scurvy special, now you know. That trip continued. I was in Chicago for a while and then took a train out to Colorado where I started hitchhiking around the mountains. It was the first time ever seeing the Rocky Mountains. That was, of course, transformative, right? A Michigan boy seeing the Rockies for the first time. And during that time, hitchhiking around, I kind of discovered this creature, this species, this entity that I called a vagabond angel. And these vagabond angels are the kind of people who just show up at the right moment, seemingly out of the blue, and they just kind of give you the next little bit that keeps you moving. And it was several of these vagabond angels that eventually led me to this gathering up in the mountains of southern Colorado, where the first night I froze my ass off in a tent with some other people, and then they left with the tent, and I built a debris hut, which is always a lot more comfortable and toasty warm. So this is waking up in my debris hut. I slide from my burrow, knocking a shower of pine needles and flakes of bark onto my head. The water in my canteen is icy in memory of the night, and the air smells of snow, of elk tracks in crisp white. Winter thoughts in July will take some getting used to. At the fire, a wired-haired man curling toward gray leans back on a log and pulls folk blues from a guitar as storm-battered as Odysseus' ship, and probably with as many miles on it. As the steam from my mug warms my face, he conjures visions of Woody riding the rails of East Texas.
Go to sleep, weary hobo. Let the towns drift slowly by. Tonight you're in a nice warm boxcar, listening to the hobo's lullaby.
And then the line that gets knowing chuckles from all of us around the fire.
I know the police, they cause you trouble. They cause trouble everywhere. But when you die and go to heaven, you won't find no policeman
Song, I rinse out my mug and clip it to my belt. I leave the circle of fire and music to gather firewood. After bringing a few armloads in, I go to work breaking and cutting it into usable sizes, making separate piles for tinder, kindling, and fuel. I make this my daily contribution to this family of strangers. The food they give me tastes better, and the fire feels warmer when I know that my work has gone into it. This kind of conscious transfer of energy is what binds me to the flow of life. With the right attentiveness, chopping wood becomes a prayer. The firewood I deliver is also the only means of communication really open to me. The fatigue and malaise of altitude sickness are wrapped around me, blocking every attempt at conversation. I try hiking around the area and swimming in a nearby lake to shake it off, but nothing helps. I accept hits from offered pipes, but that only sends me retreating to my journal and the spider web of my thoughts. I recall another time, another place, another cold, cold night. I slept in the valley shivering, neck sore from carrying a dead tree across my shoulders. I needed the wood, but more I needed the pain. Raccoon wind shudders brittle leaves, as when you get a sudden chill, and they say someone has just walked across your grave. Twig snaps, and I burrow deeper, wishing I had brought that wool blanket. Glad, almost, that I didn't.
I know your clothes are worn and ragged, and your hair is turning gray. Lift your head and smile at trouble. You'll find peace and rest someday. Don't you worry about tomorrow. Let tomorrow come and go. Tonight you are in a nice warm boxcar, safe from all that wind and snow. So go to sleep, weary hobo. Let the towns drift slowly by. Listen to the steel rail humming. That's the hobo's lullaby. Go to sleep, weary hobo. Let the towns drift slowly by. Tonight you are in a nice warm boxcar, listening to the hobo's lullaby. That's the hobo's lullaby.
I'm very grateful to Paul for kind of humoring me with doing some cover songs, because most of what you're going to hear tonight are his originals. But in the book, I referenced the Woody Guthrie, and I referenced the Hank Williams, and so he was willing to jump in and do those. I also referenced "Kind of Blue" by Miles Davis, but we didn't work that one up. But, maybe for the next show.
Maybe I could have pulled out Freddie Freeloader. I don't know.
Oh, all right. But no, actually, it's not even "Kind of Blue." It's "Bitches Brew."
Bitches.
So that would be.
Yeah, never mind. Yeah, I couldn't.
Anyway, so way back 10 years ago, when the first book came out, I embarked on the 100 Highways tour, traveling 100 different highways to do readings for the book, and all over the country, and ended up, not technically in Belize for a reading event, but while I was in Belize during the 100 Highways tour, I did sign a book for Miss Birdie's community library in Hopkins Village, and so I counted it, because I figured my tour, my rules. And we were in Belize for the New Year, and ended up celebrating the New Year at a little local bar out at the edge of town. And this is the poem that comes from it, called "New Year's Eve at the Swinging Armadillo." A great-tailed grackle grips a power line crossing overhead. The year is ending by certain clocks. By others, tonight is just another night. His blue-green, purple-black plumage, like the sea where the ship of days sinks into myth, fades into unreliable memories, and nothing can hold out against the deep. At this bar, at the edge of town where Hopkins Village is shed in favor of its old name, Yugadan, a half moon rises from the sea, bowl of oranges and black flowers on a tablecloth of stars. Garifuna drummers pound out the final moments of my year. I too have been stretched taut enough to echo. Soon winter will feel again like winter, but for now, all is music and moonlight, and the waves unfold on the dock like orchids.
Everybody's talking up a fool of themselves, and me, I ain't humble sometimes. I've got some money, babe, let's buy a car, get out of this town, and see how far we can spend our time. If you've got something to say, won't you say it? I've got no memory for lines. The highway to the coast is only 15 miles. We can drive all day and find a way to get by. Something's only happening in dreams, but nothing is as far as it seems when you're free. are headed to sea. Everybody wants to feel the wind in their hair and put themselves out there to the everywhere and the anything. When minutes make up hours and there's hours and days, the days are always fading by. A month ain't enough to make it up to yourself if you're spending your wealth, counting your money, and passing the time. Something's only happening dream. Nothing is as far as it seems. If you're free. Spend them all on nursery rhymes. Find a little luck at the bottom of the well and hope that nobody can tell when the cards get dealt if it don't turn out right. Or you can wake up in the morning when you ain't got nothing and be happy when the sun doesn't shine. Forget about yourself and all the troubles of wealth. Keep your eye on the prize. Spend all your love and be humble sometimes. But something's only happening dream. Nothing is as far as it seems. Something's only happening dream. But nothing is as far as it seems. Something's only happening dream. But nothing is as far as it seems.
This trip was to be epic. The road trip that road trips dream about. A wild ride of luxurious abandon into the heart of hip. Detroit to Memphis, Motown to Beale Street, fully decked out and equipped in Hunter-esque style, a Cadillac Eldorado convertible, a credit card for unlimited gas and food, a sheet of Dr. Owsley's finest, and a newfangled video camera to record the madness. My comrades for the journey. Jan Acorn, a friend from camp who reminds me of Hamlet in those rare moments when the prince has cast off his knighted color and his antic disposition is in full tilt boogie. Also friends of his, Marta and Juliet, Enthusian angels of the suburbs, naiadic nomads in the making, recently sprung from the Bastille of high school and looking for that first great adventure, the experience that either liberates you to a life on the road or gives you the big memory to carry as a hidden talisman through a life of commodified drudgery, aka seeking the American dream. I was a few years older, the experienced elder traveler, the mentor, the Moses Om to their Zorba Chaos, the Nestor to their Telemachus, the one who could buy beer. Of course, the road is the real mentor. And its first lesson, as always, is the fruitlessness of plans. The day before we were to leave, the hammer comes down in the form of Marta's mom. Get a job on Monday morning or I'm cutting you off. And just like that, Marta is out. And with her, the portion of supplies that she would have provided. Namely, the Cadillac, the credit card for food and gas, the money for the acid, and the newfangled video camera. Suddenly, we are 3 destitute hobos sitting on the floor of my rented room in a former firehouse of downtown Lansing, gloom and doom and wondering what to do. Let's take your car, says Jan. My car is a 79 Buick with bald tires. It burns oil like a Sultan and has more miles on it than East Texas Red. I bought it the week before for $200 and a 6-pack, a cheap domestic 6-pack at that. I doubt that boat would get us to the county line, let alone Memphis, I say, rising and crossing to the window. Incoherent gray and brown shapes crash in from all angles. Hunchback buildings whispering lies about their youth. But from the unseen distance, a sound reaches out, that long, lonesome hobo symphony. And in the train's song that shudders past my window, I feel it again. I smile to myself, the decision made. It'll make it, says Juliet. We'll give it lots of love. As we load up the next morning, Juliet slips a beaded necklace over the rearview mirror and asks, so what's his name? Whose name? Your car. You can't take a road trip without naming your car first. It's bad luck. I don't know, I say. I've only had him for a week. I don't even know which side the gas tank is on. I think it's on the bottom side, says Jan, with an antic Hamlet smile. Juliet thinks for a moment while patting the dashboard. Gus, she says. He seems like a Gus to me. Gus it is then, I say. Hello, Gus. We sure hope you're up for this trip. I turn the key, and the engine sputters and cranks a few times, then fires. All the gauges look good, and from under the hood comes a gentle, perhaps anxious purring. He's ready, calls Jan from the back seat. Let's hit it. Traffic lights shine green all the way out of town, and the radio pulls in Lou Reed singing, I don't know just where I'm going, but I'm going to try for the kingdom if I can. And we crank it till the speakers complain, and the road is as clear as the sky, and we are young and poor and laughing, and we are happy to be 3 of the living, carried like cosmonauts across the verses of the universe in the arms of a Buick named Gus.
Now it's Friday night and I'm gonna lay my money down. I'm shining up the old car to take it for a ride into town. But it's me and my baby cruising with the rag top down. Well, it's me and my baby cruising with the rag top down. Oh, it's me and my cruising with the rag top down. One more time.
Paul the Kupfer over there. He's got CDs, don't forget. CDs, t-shirts, and a vinyl record album.
I know.
So that's what the cool.
You made it sound old timey when you said it like that.
Well, you know,
I know, record album.
it's not quite as vintage as the idea of having CDs, but
Yeah, right.
yeah, that's what I did. I waited until everyone got rid of their CD player, and then I started releasing my CDs of some spoken word with a couple different bands that are back there, with the guys from Morphine, if you remember that band, and then also this jazz band out of Michigan called the Northwoods Improvisers. And I highly recommend checking out both of those people's music, whether it's on my CD or on their CDs. Yeah, you won't be disappointed. How's your scurvy special doing? Does anyone need a refill? This new 10th anniversary edition, in addition to being fully really kind of radically revised, after another 10 years of kind of figuring out what the poems were trying to say and getting closer to that this time around. It also adds 2 bonus tracks, and we already heard from one of them, the 100 Highways Tour. The other one is a haibun, which is what the book is, neo-haibun, poetry and prose blended together. Haibun, more specifically, developed by Basho, and it's prose blended with haiku. And that's what this piece is. Lisa and I went to this little roadless village in Jalisco, Mexico. It was Tim Cahill and Nancy Kessler who kind of hipped us to it. And they made us swear to secrecy that we would never reveal the name of this little village with no roads. And it was a magical place. And I was reading one of Basho's haibun books. So it just worked very naturally. Everything I was writing was falling into that style. And this is a portion of that called Casa Parota, lulled to sleep by surf, awakened by birds. The days begin with good strong coffee on our terrace, overlooking the forest of perota, bamboo, and palm trees, down to the rooftops of the village, red Spanish tile and chalk-white concrete dotted with water tanks, and the dome of the church rising silent above the music of life, the syncopated drumbeat of la gente. The street dogs know that God is in the mud and muck of the feral, never within the walls of dogma. Halfway around the world, a genocide is raging in the name of the God of walls, the same God whose walls divide as well as enclose. My complicity is inescapable, even here. Patio carpet, red flowers and yellow leaves of the tulip tree. I have tried to stop war, but I didn't try very hard. Sweeping the morning's leaves, one jumps before my broom and flies back to its butterfly life. An accordion drifts through the palms. The birds don't care that it's Easter. Jungle of orange-fronted parakeets, military macaws, and elegant trogons, a jungle of resistance and defiance, a fortress against the utter destruction of so-called development, against the savagery of so-called luxury resorts. The Wiharika people have so far managed to hold the forces at bay, mostly by not allowing a road to reach their village. No road means no cars, and no cars means everything. At the waterfall, anointment and renewal in the blast of life. After a swim and blessing in the cascading waters, we hike the trail that echoes the Tuito River back down to the village, where we hit our regular tienda for tortillas, beans, platanos, and cerveza for dinner back at our rooftop casita. A few more days of this magical place, a few more pages of this journal, a few more sweepings of fallen tulip flowers on the concrete terrace. As the sun drops lower and softer in the western sky, a loose flock of travelers waits at the pier for the panga back to the city. Tomorrow we will join them and leave behind these bird songs and falling flowers. On the fishing boats splayed across the cove. Little house lizard, here's a feast of ants. Come dine while I finish this last page. The moon in my door, but an ocean away from Basho's fragrant plums. Winter still holds my far home, a stranger waiting in shadow.
It was early in the morning in old Mexico. The sun was rising high on the ridge. And wake up, little boy, it's time to go. dusty days, and I don't mind the rain. You learn to love the ways that don't change. I remember mi abuela, she was old as the sun, and worn as a hard day when it's done. She always made a bed, and she kept our family fed, and wore an open heart for everyone. Oh, it seems like yesterday she was holding on. Now how I miss her that she's gone. I still see her standing in that old familiar way. So you learn to love the ways that don't change. So roll up them tortillas, start soaking down them beans, stoke up that old stove, start cooking down them greens, and pour a little wine if you're on siesta time. Pull down that guitar, kick up your tired feet, laughing at the sunset going out of the range. You learn to love the ways that don't change. Oh, you learn to love the ways, learn to love the ways that don't change.
We got a couple more for you, and then we'll be around to sign books, sign CDs, whatever else you might want signed. We'll just sign just random books off the shelves. We'll sign them for you. Maybe not. But it's so appropriate to do this gig with Paul. Because we both have so many traveling stories that are in my poems and in his songs, and these travels eventually brought us to Livingston, and the book ends with me arriving in Livingston, and Paul has a song called Livingston, and so we thought we'd do those, and then we got one more after this to kind of bring it on home, as they say. But this is the ending of the Vagabond song. It's the coda called the Grisfork. I've settled in off the road, at least for a while. After a mad run with Basho, a jeepster for your love across the silence of North Dakota and the quickening of eastern Montana, a non-stop grinding from Minneapolis to Livingston, I tacked upstream along the Yellowstone, then cut to the foot of the Absarokas to the Grisfork, home of Doug Peacock, who wrote, "The best wisdom comes directly from the earth. It runs right up your roots into the spirit. Walk on, the feet will inform the soul. I have a small writing cabin here. A ramshackle one-room, pine-scented, snow-draped, wind-swept, handcrafted, sun-washed, moss-spackled mountain man's cabin. A book-lined, cloud-hidden, candle-lit, Han-shonic, willow-shaded, rain-battered, rough-hewn, outlaw shoebox cabin. A Walden-esque, coyote-circle, time-worn, wine-stained, satori-seeking, bird-gathering, history-whispering, snow-melt-dripping, tempest-tossed, typewriter-echoing cabin. It's a good place to be still and watch the transit of clouds, the round dance of the seasons. It's a good place to drop my pack and allow some roots to grow. As Miscellaneous Jones says, a tree without roots is just a log, firewood. It's time to dig in off the road, at least for a while.
Mama and your papa not getting to knowing even a broken man can survive.
Right, well, we just got one more then. And I just want to thank everyone for coming, for being here, for supporting not just, what we're doing, but for supporting Elk River and supporting this type of event in this incredible town that we are lucky enough to be in. And that movement we did a long time ago tonight, where I went from Saginaw to Chicago and out to Colorado and spent the night in that debris hut. That was the second movement. This is near the very end of the book, and it's the second movement, Reprise. And I was at that debris hut place, and or maybe I was in Boulder. I was in Boulder, and met a vagabond angel who said, well, if you make it up to San Francisco, look me up. So, several weeks later, I made it up to San Francisco. I don't think I ever looked up the vagabond angel, but that doesn't matter. The angel just gets you where you need to be. So I got to San Francisco. And 2 days later, I'm walking up Lombard, away from the section where it's the most crooked street on earth. On this section, it's as straight as 87.2% of the world's streets. Through an open doorway, I hear my siren song, the clack of pool balls. There's no sign naming the bar, or even implying that it is a bar, but I tentatively step in to find a paneled room and a few dusty beer lights and an old guy sitting at the bar, a small dog snoozing under his stool. The bartender is reading the paper, and a woman with long red nails and a mail carrier uniform is shooting 8-ball with a retiree from an illusion factory. Most factories primarily produce illusions. Illusions of wealth, comfort, power, control, beauty, importance, status, happiness. As many illusions as it takes to ignore that persistent tapping at the door. I cross the room, slip into a bar stool and order a scurvy special. The bartender introduces himself, then the rest of the gang. Bob, Vicky, Denny, and Hamlet, Ham for short, who gives his tail a few sleepy wags at hearing his name. Just then the arm of the jukebox slides a new record from its nook and drops it onto the turntable. The initial crackle and static give way to the lonely and beautiful piano of Floyd Kramer, which tells the whole story in a handful of notes, followed by the desolate truth of the voice of Patsy Cline. I'm home again. This unnamed bar becomes part of my daily routine. After wandering the hills and streets of this haunted city, sometimes after winning and losing to Scarlett, the voodoo bartender, whose real name I never learned, I drop by this place to listen to Bob's stories until Vicky finishes her mail route. Then she and I shoot pool until the game comes on. On the day Bob gets his Social Security check, he buys rounds for the house until he's back to an equilibrium of contented poverty. Vicky slides into the bar like a snake takes to water. There ain't no ripple or sound, but right away she transforms the entire pool. Back alley Bob is propped at the bar, feeble dog tucked beneath his stool, tongue out, flap-eared and half blind, as another government check changes itself into into shots of whiskey.
Come on, Vicky, take that bank shot. Take me home tonight. Let's rack another game of 8-ball. I'll try to put up half a fight. Bob just keeps on drinking. His words are washed away. While Vicky just runs the table, puts on her wings and flies away.
Bob catches the scent of her blood-red nails and raven hair. He becomes young again, and in his drink sees himself reflected, predatory and sharp. But then she moves away to drop 2 quarters in the jukebox, and the image clouds, replaced by the stale 80-proof blood of a dying alcoholic.
Take that bank shot. Take me home tonight. Let's pour another game of 8-ball. I'll try to put up half a fight. While Bob just keeps on drinking. His words are washed away. Vicky just runs the table, puts on a wing and flies.
Thank you to Bob, Vicky, all the Vagabond Angels, and to all of you. Salud. Thank you.